digital currency, and this is all accepted. This is not theory. Is programmable. They can program a digital currency to mean you can only spend it on certain things and you can't spend it on others not designated by the government. And it's programmable so it can only be spent in a certain area. So if you go outside of your zone, your money won't work. And not only that, it means that when you go past one of these number plate cameras when you, quote, shouldn't, you won't be able to challenge the fine because the fine will be taken out of your digital account the moment you transgress. This is what's happening.
You inject materials into your body that essentially create the equivalent of an operating system and a receiver, and you can literally hook everybody up to the cloud. And that includes hooking them up in a way that their transaction system, the Bible calls it the mark of the beast, is one way people know this up. But you're basically talking about being able to digitally identify and track people in connection with their financial transactions. So it's a world of zero privacy, but more importantly, what's important to understand is if you then institute one or more central bank cryptos, you're now talking about a system where every central bank in the world can shut you off individually from transacting if they don't like the way you're behaving. So many people are familiar with the social credit system in China. It's very similar. You're basically, if you install the smart grid in their car, their community, and now literally in their body, you've got 24/7 surveillance. And if people don't do what you say and behave the way you want, they can and will shut off your money. So and they'll also have spatial control. If they say you can't travel more than 5 miles. That's it, because you're in a complete digital control system, and it's controlled by the central bankers through the money.
Shalom, call Lord Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. That's giving our praise to the Most High. In the name of His only begotten Son, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Double honors to our teachers, the elders, and apostles of Great Millstone, who taught us His truth and sincerity. Peace and salutations to the hopeful lake scattered abroad. Shalom to 144,000. This video is from the brother Arrows of Indignation 144, and it says, programmable money. If you violate, they penalize your account immediately. And you see what she said, pretty much this is, these elites trying to fulfill their enterprise, man. Okay, she said you won't be able to leave your zone. Okay, and if you do leave your zone, you won't be able to have your money, won't be able to spend your money. Programmable money means they can program what you can buy and what you can't buy. And ultimately, it's just total control. Esau wants total control, man. Okay, and in these last days, we're going to see these things play out. The vision is being made clear. I'm going to finish playing this, but let me go right here real quick. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 33. It says, and when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come, then shall they know that a prophet hath been among them. And with this whole thing with Russia and Ukraine and Israel and Iran, these wars going on, America's going into war. Okay, Trump is supposedly about to announce that we're at war with Iran, okay? And when he does that, wartime laws are completely different than regular laws. You have no rights. You have no, constitution is suspended. Martial law is imposed, and they're going to shut this place down. And when they shut this place down, they're going to bring out a digital currency, which is going to be in the form of an MOTB they want to implant inside your body. All right, we know this because this is what the prophecies speak, and now we're seeing these things, these visions become clearer and clearer day by day. It's becoming more and more evident what the Lord is doing in the earth right now, man. All right, so let's go right here. Desire. Let me see, because what she just said was that how, and there's a show out there about this, man. They got the guy. I forgot what it was. I always forget what it's called, but it's like kind of a comedy show. But you could tell the realistic, in it, where basically you got that guy from Marvel. He's the new Captain America, the Jake dude, He's planning that show, and he's pretty much delivering particular stuff to different, pretty much smart cities, zoned off cities. Okay, and everything else in between is complete, the Wild West, the Wild West, man. All right, so this is what they plan on doing, is making these smart cities, shutting down, and anybody who's not in that smart city, you're going to be pretty much on your own, kicked out of society. You're going to have to, go out there and get it how you live. And if you do want to come into these smart cities, you're going to have to take this MOTB. It says 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse, I'll read all this. Verse 14, it says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." This chaos that we see happening in the earth is going to increase, and it's going to lead to a complete shutdown, a complete, lockdown. It says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power." People are going to be doing whatever they feel like it. Whatever they please, they're going to be doing it, man. Okay? It says, "A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able." Right? Because you're going to, want to go into this city or leave a city. You're not going to be able. Okay? Which everything is already, you got the eagle eye watching you. Okay? But now it's going to be, even more intense. You see China with the social credit system. I did a video on that a few years ago. Maybe a year ago. Not even a few years ago. Maybe a year ago. But I often do it, probably done it a few times at this point, but that whole system that's going on in China, which I think I might show it in this video, that's what's coming here. Okay, but worse. It says, "A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of lack of bread and for great tribulation." So there's going to be chaos, but they want to bring this order out of chaos, and this is the order that they plan on bringing. Let's play some more.
We're digitizing everything, but it includes the human body as well and the human mind. So this system comes
it's basically a digital prison. She said we're digitizing everything, including the human body and the human mind. So they want to put this technology inside your body. Okay, it's not rocket science.
Complete control not only of your ability to transact financially, which is...
And that's what Aaron Russo came to the conclusion of. He said total control. They want total control. Okay.
Hooked up to your body, but very sophisticated mind control technology through the media and those cloud connections. So basically, you're talking about hooking up into the Borg, if you will, and so transhumanism, technocracy go hand in hand. Now, I would describe this as a slavery system. So we're talking about shifting out of freedom, where we have freedom to roam and freedom to say what we want.
Right. You know what you said, technocracy, which you have now. You have so-called democracy, but it's going to be a technocracy where everything is, digital and, recorded on in its technology. Like they had one, I believe it was the World Economic Forum. There was a woman there. She said how there's going to be a blockchain. Okay, where everything is tracked, everything is, recorded. This is what they want, total control.
A complete control system 24/7, including mind control. Now, the challenge before us is if the, sort of the committee that runs the world, my nickname being Mr. Global, if Mr. Global wants to go to a slavery system and we want to remain a human civilization, then we have a fundamental disagreement. And that is the disagreement before us.
And we get to the diagrams here.
Okay. So if you look at what's going on, we have the tech people building the clouds and the telecommunications. We have the military doing space and Operation Warp Speed. So they're putting up the satellites, okay? Then we have Big Pharma, which is making the injections that are full of these mystery ingredients and modify your DNA, and for all we know, make you infertile. And then we have the media pouring out the propaganda. And then we have the central bankers engineering to the crypto, the central bank crypto systems. So you have
recently they just passed some new crypto laws, man. Okay, while everybody was, distracted by these whole protests within the riots, they just passed some new crypto laws, so they put more strict restrictions on that. So there's gonna be no way around this, man.
These different pillars, and it's very important when you look at what's going on day to day, particularly in the media, they're trying to keep them separate so that you can't see how they're going to come together in an integrated system, which is basically integrated into your body and your mind.
For what purpose?
To institute the slavery system. So in other words, if I am going to do everything through a smart grid, and I need to run the smart grid into your neighborhood, and then I need to run the smart grid into your body, the question is, how am I going to build it out in your neighborhood and build it out in your body without you seeing the trap?
Wow. Wow, man. What is this? One second. What else put us on that? I don't watch that no more. But you heard what she said, man. They want to do all this without you noticing it. And a lot of our people, they're lost. Okay, they're blinded. They're not paying attention, and they're going to get caught up by this, man. This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 1. It says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and I will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. It says, and the Lord Yahawah BAHASHAM Yahawashi answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. And this thing is not complicated, man. Okay, it's been made plain. Okay, they want to put it inside your body, but you got these camps that sold out and is telling you otherwise, or people that can't see it because the Lord is not dealing with them. They can't put this together. But we know where this is all going. You see everything going digital. Everything's going with AI, and then every now and then they'll talk about transhumanism. Okay, go watch the movie Upgrade. It showed you how everybody had the technology inside their body. People's bodies were augmented, and pretty much, they had all this different technology inside of them. Shalakia. It says, for the vision is for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. In the NLT, it says the vision is for a future time. It describes the end, and it will be fulfilled. So this vision is getting clearer and clearer. We see how this thing is going to play out. If it seems slow in coming, wait patiently, and for it will surely take place. It will not be delayed. So it's not going to continue to be delayed, man. Okay, it says, look at the proud. They trust in themselves, and their lives are crooked, but the righteous will live by their faithfulness to Yahawah BAHASHAM Yahawashi. And this is why we're going to have to remain faithful to Yahawah BAHASHAM Yahawashi, man. When this thing goes down like this, we're going to, let me see, smoked. Okay. Yeah, because when this thing comes down, hey, man, we're going to have to trust in Yahawah BAHASHAM Yahawashi. We're going to have to completely unplug from this grid. Okay. Let's go back and finish this over here. It says, back in the KJV, it says, behold, his soul which is not lifted up, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. This man is not right. It says, but the just shall live by his faith. And that's how we going to live through faith in Yahawah BAHASHAM Yahawashi, trusting and calling upon Yahawah BAHASHAM Yahawashi. When people are starving and taking this implant and still starving, we going to be good, because the Lord he going to take care of us, man. Okay. It's lucky. It says, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. And this is the spirit of these Edomites, man. They can't be satisfied. They can never have enough. So they want to bring more hell, more destruction, more pain, and more suffering. Okay, and they're doing it through this system that they're set up, this beast system that they're setting up. It says, Isaiah chapter 10, verse 20, it says, and it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel, and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob, shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, which means to trust in this man, but shall stay upon Yahawah BAHASHAM Yahawashi, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. You see? So we're going to have to trust in Yahawah BAHASHAM Yahawashi. It ain't going to be about going to work and making your daily bread no more. It ain't going to be about getting a paycheck and how much you get paid. It's going to be about, bowing down to this beast system or not. And if you don't bow down to it, is the Lord going to be with you? Because they're going to leave people out there to starve. A lot of people are going to starve. A lot of people are going to get, afraid of, or, lose hope in that starvation and end up taking it. And just to starve anyway. You got to understand, they had the Georgia Guidestones. They wouldn't bring the population down. All right, so this man, you can never trust your enemy. It says, the remnant shall return, even the remnant of Jacob, unto the mighty power. And that's a select few, okay, a small number of our people. Okay, not all so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Indians are going to make it or be saved or be delivered in this time we're coming into. In fact, majority of them are going to be caught up in this and die. Okay, it says, for though thy people Israel be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them shall return. The consumption decree shall overflow with righteousness. Right, so you're going to have a select few of our people, a select few of you Jakes that's going to not take it. That's not going to fall for this, man. And that's going to be the elect. Everybody else, they're going to fall for it. All right, they already got, man. A lot of our people, they already through. So it's best to just separate and work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. And that's why we do this work as well, to give out that warnings, those warnings, man. With that being said, I'm gonna say shalom, come blah blah blah.